Elections in Turkey, the end of the Erdogan era. The world is closely watching Turkey as the country gears up for its elections. At the center of this attention is President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, who has been in power for almost 2 decades, amidst growing concerns over his increasingly authoritarian style of governance. With the economy struggling and tensions rising with Europe and Russia, many are wondering if the election will mark the end of the Erdogan era. As Turkey plays a critical role in regional stability and global politics, the outcome of the election will have far-reaching consequences, making this a topic of utmost importance to the world. In today's video, we will delve into the complexities of Turkey's politics, economy, and international relationships, and examine the potential implications of the election. But before we start, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, and if you're new to this channel, subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay connected. Let's get started. Erdogan's authoritarian government. How far would you go to maintain your grip on power? For President Recep Tayyip Erdogan of Turkey, the answer seems to be as far as necessary. Erdogan has been at the helm of Turkey's government since 2003, but in recent years, his regime has become increasingly authoritarian, sparking concerns about the state of democracy in the country. Under Erdogan's rule, Turkey has seen a sharp rise in human rights abuses, media censorship, and political repression. Opposition parties and figures have been systematically targeted, with thousands of journalists, academics, and activists imprisoned or forced into exile. The government has also cracked down on civil society organizations, limiting their ability to operate freely. One of the most troubling aspects of Erdogan's regime is the way in which he has consolidated power. He has significantly expanded the role of the presidency, making it a more powerful position than ever before. In 2017, a controversial referendum gave Erdogan sweeping new executive powers, enabling him to appoint and dismiss ministers, issue decrees with the force of law, and dissolve parliament. The move effectively abolished Turkey's parliamentary system and made Erdogan the most powerful leader in the country's modern history. Erdogan's government has also been accused of manipulating the judiciary to achieve political ends. The judiciary, which is meant to be independent, has come under increasing government influence in recent years, leading to concerns about the fairness of trials and the rule of law in Turkey. The media has also been a target of Erdogan's regime. Turkey has a vibrant media landscape, but the government has used a variety of tactics to silence critical voices. This has included pressuring media outlets to toe the government line, shutting down independent news organizations, and imprisoning journalists on spurious charges. As a result, Turkey has plummeted in international rankings for press freedom, currently ranking 149 out of 180 countries. The erosion of democratic norms and institutions in Turkey has raised concerns both domestically and internationally. The European Union, for example, has criticized Turkey's government for its human rights record and has threatened to withhold funding if the country doesn't improve its record. Country's economy under Erdogan. The Turkish economy has been a topic of much debate in recent years, with many questioning the government's management of the country's finances under the leadership of President Erdogan. One of the most striking examples of the economic challenges facing Turkey is the country's currency, the lira. Since 2018, the lira has lost more than half of its value against the US dollar, leading to soaring inflation and a sharp decline in living standards for many Turks. This has been a major source of frustration for the Turkish people, who have seen their purchasing power decline rapidly. Inflation hit a 15-year high in 2018, reaching 25%, and although it has since declined, it remains stubbornly high at around 16%. The economic challenges facing Turkey are complex and multifaceted, but one of the key factors contributing to the country's economic woes is its high level of external debt. According to a report by the Institute of International Finance, Turkey's external debt stood at $413 billion in the third quarter of 2020, equivalent to 42% of the country's GDP. This is a significant increase from just a decade ago, when the external debt was around $155 billion. The high level of external debt has left Turkey vulnerable to fluctuations in global markets, particularly as interest rates have risen in the United States, putting pressure on emerging market economies like Turkey. This has led to a sharp decline in foreign investment and a flight of capital from the country, exacerbating the economic challenges facing Turkey. The government's response to the economic challenges has been controversial, with some experts arguing that the government's policies have exacerbated the situation. For example, the government has been accused of interfering with the independence of the central bank, which has contributed to a loss of confidence in the country's economic management. Relationship with Europe. How has Turkey's relationship with Europe evolved under President Erdogan's leadership? The answer is complex and multifaceted, but it is clear that the relationship between Turkey and Europe has become increasingly strained in recent years. One of the key issues that have soured relations between Turkey and Europe is the large number of refugees and migrants who have sought asylum in Europe, many of whom are fleeing the conflict in Syria. Turkey hosts the largest number of refugees in the world, with more than 3.6 million Syrian refugees currently residing in the country. The Turkish government has accused Europe of not doing enough to share the burden of the refugee crisis and has threatened to open its borders, allowing refugees to flood into Europe. In addition to the refugee crisis, there are a number of other issues that have contributed to the deterioration of relations between Turkey and Europe. These include Turkey's human rights record, its crackdown on the media and opposition figures, and its increasingly authoritarian stance. Despite these challenges, Turkey remains an important partner for Europe in many areas, including trade, security, and migration. The European Union is Turkey's largest trading partner, with the two sides exchanging goods and services worth more than 140 billion euros in 2019. Turkey is also a key partner in efforts to combat terrorism and illegal migration, and it plays an important role in the NATO alliance. However, the ongoing tensions between Turkey and Europe have led to a number of diplomatic disputes and have raised questions about the future of the relationship between the two sides. Turkey's importance in the Russia-Ukraine war. As the conflict between Russia and Ukraine continues to escalate, Turkey has emerged as a key player in the region. One of the reasons for this is Turkey's strategic location, which allows it to exert influence in both Europe and the Middle East. Turkey is also a member of NATO, which gives it a certain level of protection and influence in the region. In recent years, Turkey has been building closer ties with Russia, which has raised concerns among its NATO allies. In particular, Turkey's decision to purchase the Russian-made S-400 missile defense system has drawn criticism from the United States and other NATO countries. The S-400 system is seen as a threat to NATO's security, as it could allow Russia to gain access to sensitive information about NATO's defense capabilities. At the same time, there have been reports that Russia was involved in Turkey's election process. According to a report by the European Parliament, there is evidence that Russia attempted to influence the outcome of the 2018 Turkish elections through disinformation campaigns and other tactics. The report notes that Russia's goal was to undermine Turkey's democratic institutions and to increase its influence in the country. However, Turkey's relationship with Russia and its internal political challenges will likely continue to shape its approach to the conflict and its role in the region. Elections in Turkey. Turkey's elections can have significant implications for the country's future. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan's ruling party, the AKP, has been in power for nearly 2 decades, but recent years have seen growing opposition to Erdogan's increasingly authoritarian style of government. According to recent polls, Erdogan's approval rating has fallen to its lowest level since he first became president in 2014. A survey conducted by Metropol in March 2021 found that just 41% of respondents approved of Erdogan's performance as president, while 54% disapproved. This marks a significant decline from Erdogan's peak popularity in 2013, when he won a landslide victory in the country's local elections. At the same time, the opposition in Turkey has been gaining momentum. In the 2019 local elections, the opposition won key victories in Istanbul and Ankara, dealing a major blow to Erdogan's AKP. This has given hope to those who believe that Turkey's democracy is under threat and that Erdogan's rule has become increasingly authoritarian. One of the key issues in the election is likely to be the state of the economy. Final words. What do you think the outcome of Turkey's elections will be, and what impact do you think it will have on the country's future? Let us know in the comment section below. If you liked the video, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. We will meet you soon in a new video. Until then, stay happy and take care of yourself.